Okay, this one is looking at finding angles from trig functions. Basically, we're going to be using unit circle to figure out what angles will give us specific values for sine and cosine. So it's kind of a form of solving trig equations, an introduction to it. So the idea is to use unit circle and use horizontal and vertical lines. So when I have my unit circle, I have to remember that the sine is the y-coordinate and cosine is the x-coordinate. So if I'm working with a sine equation, I want to use a horizontal line because that's where we have y equals the same values. If I'm using the x-coordinate, I want to do a vertical line. So let's take a look at an example here. We have cosine of theta equals -1/2. Okay, and on the problems we're going to be looking at, we're going to be specifying a certain range of angles because this actually has infinite solutions. Because I can keep going around the circle over and over and over again. So it actually has infinite number of solutions. But I'm going to specify I'm just working within one unit circle going from 0 to 360. So I'm just going around our standard angles going around. Cosine is -1/2. That's kind of like saying, okay, I need the x-coordinate to equal -1/2. So I find -1/2 on my x-axis, and I draw a vertical line, and now I'm going to try to figure out my angles. Well, I draw from the origin out to the point. So I can see it's not in the middle, so it's not going to be one of my 45-degree angles. This one's a little bit closer over here, so this is a smaller angle. It's not a big angle, so that's going to be about 30 degrees. So I got 90 plus 30. That makes theta equals 120 degrees. Now, whenever you're solving for theta, when you're looking for the angle, your answer is going to be the angle, which is going to be in degrees. Now going down into the other point right here, this one's down here in the third quadrant. This is 270. I'm going to go backwards 30. That's 240. Or you could say this angle here is 60. And I'm going to go 180 plus 60, and that would give me 240. So we just got to figure out what the angles we're working with. Okay, let's look at some additional examples. Sine of theta equals -√2/2. Okay, I already know it's like one of my 45-degree angle ones. Okay, we're specifying we're working from 90 to 270. So 90 to 270, here's 90, and here is 270. So I'm on this half of the circle. So I know my answer is going to be somewhere over on this side over here. Sine is negative, okay? Sine's negative, that means the y value is negative. So that means I have to be down here in the third quadrant. So this is the angle I want. I'm only going to get one answer in this case, and I've got to figure out where it is. Well, again, here's 180. And then if I add 45 to that, I'm going to get 225 degrees. So this angle right here was 225. Okay, this time we have cosine of theta equals √3/2. We're going again full circle. Okay, √3/2 is about 0.87. So I'm going to look on the x-axis. Here's 0, here's 1. I want to go out to 0.877, be right here. So I know it's going to be one of my special ones, either 30 degree or 60 degree. So I get two angles again. I get the angle that's here, and I get the angle that's down here. This angle, again, is close to the x-axis. It's only a 30-degree angle. And then here is 360. If I go backwards 30, I would get 330. Okay, let's look at a couple more examples. Sine of theta equals -1/2, so my y value is -1/2. Oh, we're going to go from negative 90 to 0. Okay, so let's take a look at what that means in a circle. This tells me y equals negative 1/2. So I can draw a line at negative 1/2. There's where y equals negative 1/2. I'm going to go from negative 90 to 0. Well, here's 0, here's negative 90. So I'm working between these two values. This one's only going to have one answer. So if I draw my line out, it puts me at this angle right here. This one, again, I'm going to go backwards 30 degrees. So this is negative 30 degrees. Okay, cosine theta equals negative 1. And they're saying between backwards a full circle and forward a full circle. Okay, cosine means x equals negative 1. That's right here. So if I went forward, it's going to give me 180 degrees. Or I can go backwards. That would be negative 180. Now, there's a good chance when you work through these problems, you're only going to see the positive cases. But we could just specify any kind of range you might be working in. So it's kind of good to see work with negative ones or even going potentially over a full circle. You just got to figure out where you are and what the angles are actually working.